What is up, Lost Tribe, and welcome to a very special Purim edition of the Lost Tribe Social Hour. My name is Offy. I'm joined by my co-hosts Noah and Spencer. We've got an awesome show for you. We got an awesome guest that we'll be introducing very shortly. Make sure that you're participating in the chat. You'll see my name popping up right there. This is pre-recorded, so if I don't respond to you, that's why. But we will be in the chat participating with you. We got so many fun things planned for you. I'm so excited. Spencer, what's up?
Yeah, all right. Yeah, happy Purim, everyone.
Woo!
Let's go. There's someone new here outside of our main cast members, and that is our special guest, Eitan Levine.
Hey, this isn't plugged into anything, but everyone had microphones, so I thought I would also.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, microphone is a must. If you don't know Eitan Levine, he is a comedian, writer from New York City. He's been featured on Stephen Colbert's show. He's been featured on Jimmy Kimmel Live, many other shows. He's also a writer. He's been featured in the New York Times and plenty other publications. And we are super excited to have Eitan here.
Yeah.
Eitan, we are super pumped to hear about everything.
I've also written for New York Times.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's really impressive.
I get a lot of this guy.
It is impressive.
Really impressive.
The most impressive accolade, I think, would be headlining the Lost Tribe comedy show in New York.
Yeah.
Oh, true.
Which he did.
That's what I tell people. I tell people that my two credits are that I've written for the New York Times and that I performed at the Lost Tribes event in Brooklyn.
Yeah, no, we absolutely assumed that. We're super excited to have you here, Eitan. And it should be a lot of fun getting to hang with you and talk with you and play a couple of the games that we're used to playing here, but include you in them, especially for this awesome Purim event that we're having. Shout out to the chat.
Yeah.
Everyone's dressed up. Everyone's got a little costume going on. Offy, what are you?
Today we're rocking the Charizard. He's a little bit covered up here, but one of my favorite Pokemon, and also was the cheapest one when I was really needing a Halloween costume. So that's how this one came about.
Right on.
Can I just say, pretty weak that Charizard's one of your favorite Pokemon? That's a very boring answer.
For the record, it was one of my favorite Pokemon that was in stock at the costume store. The other one was Pikachu, and I'm definitely more of a Charizard guy. I was a Blastoise. I was always a water starter kid, so
yeah.
Just for the record.
I like Blastoise because he had the body of a relief pitcher.
He's got the big Bartolo Colon belly.
Yeah, he did. I was gonna say it looked like Bartolo Colon, but I was like, I don't know if anybody was gonna get the fact.
And he's got the cannon.
I watched Bartolo Colon hit a home run when I saw the Mets play back in
the one home run.
I saw it. I saw the one.
Wow.
That's insane. That's absolutely insane.
I know. I was there.
Do you know that Roy Wood Jr., the comedian, was on Pablo Torre's? This is plugged into nothing. It was on Pablo Torre's podcast, and he asked Roy Wood Jr. who the best hang he ever had was, and he goes Bartolo Colon, and they're like, why? And he's like, I didn't speak any of his language. He didn't speak any of my language. And we just laughed for 5 hours. And he's supposedly Bartolo Colon is supposedly an insane hang.
All right, so obviously I'm the cop out, male costume of just being a hockey player, as one does. But I'm curious, Noah, what are you?
Wait, should we get guesses? Should everyone?
Britney Spears.
Britney Spears. Okay, Britney Spears is a guess. Offy.
I was gonna say the Britney Spears Justin Timberlake duo costume.
It's a great guess.
Could be a Hannah Montana. That was the other thing I was thinking.
Hannah Montana.
Also a great guess.
Maybe.
I'm gonna go ahead and guess JoJo Siwa.
Girl, bye.
JoJo Siwa.
The amount of people in Israel that I looked like JoJo Siwa was actually so rude.
I know.
Nothing against JoJo Siwa, we love you. But actually,
do we?
Girls.
Do we love JoJo Siwa?
I don't, but I don't want to cause JoJo Siwa.
We don't want to bring out angry JoJo Siwa
Siwa
fans
in the chat right now, please.
I want to upset that fan base, okay?
Yeah.
I know.
I'm happy, JoJo Siwa.
They're gonna come for us. Mr. Johnny, do you have a guess?
I was going to go with Paris Hilton.
These are all great guesses. I might be vibing that for next Halloween. I am the one and only Sharpay Evans from.
Great costume.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's just very confusing because Spencer's not the brother, so that's confusing to me.
No, I'm not. I'm
What's
not
his
Ryan.
name? Oh,
I'm not
Ryan.
Ryan.
Fun fact: they actually hated each other on set.
Really?
That makes sense. Well, I think they all hated each other on that set.
Yeah.
That seems like NYU Tish, like with more at stake than it. What's weird about that movie is that Sharpay and Ryan, is that the brother's name?
Brother.
Their entire thing is, are they effing? And that is a very, very odd, like they have a very weird like relationship.
Yeah, for a brother sister, it's like it's a little uncomfortable.
What
But you know,
tension?
it was like 2008 though, you know, so
Yeah, it was definitely
times are different.
Yeah. Incest was good back then, you know, before the government shut it down. What's the rating, by the way, on this podcast? Is this a PG-13? How clean?
I'd say it's a PG-13. You know,
We'll bleep whatever needs to be
that would
bleeped.
offend your grandma too much.
Maybe cut out the incest jokes, but you know, who knows?
That's what I wanted to know. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I would say you could say whatever. I would say PG-13 is probably right, which means you get one F-bomb. Use it well.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Oh no. Have you seen that TikTok trend of girlfriends asking their boyfriends to say the B word to them, and then the boyfriend will do it, and it's always like there's a lot of anger like behind it.
A lot of
That's
pent-up
a
anger. So it's Purim, so I'm curious. Do we have any hot takes on Purim?
Ooh, I hate Hamantaschens. Is that a hot take or is
That is hot. That is piping hot.
It's a horrible take.
No, I agree. Can I ask? Is it because the ratio is always off?
so off? The cookie to
Yeah.
jelly ratio is ridiculous.
Thank you. It should be mostly
Really?
jelly and a little cookie.
Thank you.
Eitan.
Thank you.
Eitan.
Yeah.
We could count on you right here to slander Noah for this take.
No,
No, she's right.
it's a dry ass cookie. Like
And I will say, I have had Hamantaschen where the ratio is better, and it's incredible. Every single one of those I've had is one of the best cookies I've ever had. It is disgusting what the baker, and it's to save money. You don't think I know that it's more per weight to do dough than jelly?
I don't think the world is ready for you to spit this hard. I really don't think we're
This
ready.
is a real thing. This may actually be like a TikTok rant that I do. I'm not even joking. I had this down because I had a critique on Hamantaschen. Because aside from this, poppy seed as a sweet is psychotic.
I would go as far to say anti-Semitic.
Yes, it makes no sense.
So just with, I mean, you don't have to give us the whole spiel now, but what is this rant on Hamantaschen that you're ready to drag?
Exactly what Sharpay Evans said. Okay.
period.
The ratio is never good. It's always like an 80-20 split when it should, at the very least, be a 50-50. And that is at the very least.
Yes, that's being
Even
very
then, I'm being nice.
I think all Hamantaschens are great if they have a chewy dough. Instead of like, it can't crumble and make my mouth fill with dust.
So this is another thing that I agree with, where I think sometimes the dough they use is so freaking dry. It's a dry dough, but it can be mitigated with a wet, softer, more mushier dough.
If you could only have one filling for the rest of time, what would it be?
chocolate.
No. Okay, so that's crazy. And for the rest of the time?
For the rest of time. No, every other filling is obliterated off the face of the earth.
It would have to be a jelly one, because I'll put this, if you have a strawberry, that to me takes up raspberry, cherry. You get more flavors in that one versus chocolate, which is just so heavy.
So
But it's the rest of your life.
I'm not gonna lie. I might be inventing in my mind right now a new Purim treat. That because I agree. Sometimes the Hamantaschen can be quite dry. The Halataschen.
Oh.
What if you're making Hamantaschen
From the gluten-free guy?
Soup on you?
Yeah. Wait, but I can no, but that doesn't. You have to transport it though. That doesn't work because you got to transport it. It's like
it's
flimsy.
You also can't make it into a triangle.
That challah crust on the outside though, so it's transportable.
But is the jelly in the center like a soup yod, or is it at the top?
No, it's at the top.
I actually think you overcooked on this one. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Wait. Here's where I'll meet you in the middle of this. What about some sort of, those like biscotti cookies? Like
yeah,
if it's
dry ass.
like-
Don't talk about
like-
dry cookie.
Yeah, so I'm saying like what I appreciate about the biscottis is that they're like, yeah, we're dry. We're practically a friggin' rock. Okay. And I feel like if Hamantashen was to take on a very dry stance, and what is interesting about this also is that you would then probably have to bake the cookie aside from the jelly. So you could fill the jelly in afterwards, and it would be maybe a hot, thing, a treat.
What if we just piped the like right directly into your mouth? Just jam, just right down the
That'll
gullet.
get you the right ratio for sure.
I just didn't say the F word, okay? I made sure to keep this PG-13, Offy.
We are teetering on the border of PG.
These are good Hamantashen takes, though.
So, Eitan, we are very happy to have you here. We have a couple questions that we'd love to ask you before we play some games.
Are we done with hot takes about Purim?
No, I'd love to hear yours.
Oh, my God. I think it's hilarious that they had a beauty pageant. I think that's not talked about enough. I think whenever we're told about Purim, the issue with a lot of stories is that, like, you learn it as a kid, and then, like, you don't really think about practically what that means, And I think that the beauty pageant is one of the funnier things where, like, this was probably a thing that he mentioned offhand where he was just like, I need a new wife. And then you had a bunch of like overactive like interns probably trying to make a name for themselves. And they're like, oh, King wants a new wife. We're going to do a beauty pageant. And then all of a sudden everyone had to go and find the hottest woman in the country. And then they brought her here. And then I think a lot of people talk about how Esther, she is a great Jewish feminine character. I love her. She's also, her thing is that she was so hot.
Yeah, that is her thing.
She was a baddie.
Not talked about enough.
No, but this is the thing, though. This is what the point that I'm getting to with this. She wasn't just hot. She was so hot that she got Achashverosh to kill his friend.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't ask a follow-up question. He was literally he was like, why are you a little bit sad? And she was like, because I may die. And he's like, why? He's gonna kill you. And she's like, kill your friend.
Come on,
Gun on the table and do it. And like they just got married the night before. And if I'm Haman, I'm like, you kidding me?
If you think about it, though, Achashverosh also exiled his first wife for not coming and dancing for him and his friends when they were all drunk. So I don't know if he's exactly like it
was crazy.
He's not the pinnacle of decision making.
I gotta say, it's also pretty crazy to think how little we've come in humanity, where like beauty pageant was such a big part of Purim, and it's still a big part of today's culture.
Yeah.
That's how they should find, in my America, the beauty winner would have to marry the president every year. I think that's how it would.
I think the beauty pageant winner becomes the president.
That can't be a winning situation.
If I were taught that,
I didn't make up the rules. Achashverosh did.
If I were taught that in 8th grade, that's what we did up until like 1890, I would believe in a heartbeat. I committed to memory.
Far be it for me to judge the more orthodox sections of the community, but there is a thing where it's like, if you're a good learner, like you're getting hotter, more accomplished prospects for shidduchim and stuff like that. It's just a thing. Like if you do better in like shear, then you get a hotter wife. Like it's like, anyways, you're probably gonna cut that out. But it is a thing, and we can move on, and we can all move on. The last thing I'll say on this is that Chabad wives are always the hottest because they went down to like places like University of Alabama and they recruited themselves wives. Anyways, you can cut any of this. I'm right. But, you can take it how you take it.
This entire podcast continues to teeter on PG-13.
This isn't PG-13. This is inappropriate misinformation. Let's get it clear. This is all just my speculation. There's a reason why the Chabad wives are all hot. Anyways.
Somebody has to get to the bottom of it. It's going to have to be you.
This is an answer, though. It's an actual answer. Like, Chabad is the community that went out and they went to other communities. Yeah. So, like, if most Jews are made of Ashkenazi potato people, then it didn't hurt to open up a Chabad house in San Diego.
Those are my ancestors you're talking about.
Yeah, I know mine too, and I can't eat dairy without destroying a toilet bowl. It's the first thing that we set up a Chabad in Mexico City to, add some spice to the matzo ball soup mix.
Yeah.
I'm not wrong.
Half the chat in the first
3
10
points.
minutes of this podcast with either their love for Hamantashen or Chabad wives.
We're being
Yeah.
Ashkenazi.
I think it's time that we ask you a couple hard-hitting questions.
Yeah. Go. And the vaccine isn't real. It can't be real because COVID never happened. What are you vaccinating yourself from? Aaron Rodgers, Robert Kennedy for president 2024, baby. Let's go.
That's why you came on this podcast. But I
All right, Eitan, we're unfortunately ready to learn more about you.
Yeah. Have you not learned enough?
You've almost learned too much.
This is not plugged into anything.
All right, so okay, here's our first hard-hitting question. What is your bagel order?
My bagel. Okay, so I will say, I don't know. Someone mentioned gluten-free in this chat.
He is.
For that?
So,
I am also gluten-free. So the only times I have a bagel is if I go to I'll shout them out, Modern Bread and Bagel, baby, on the Upper West Side.
second best bagel in the city.
Who's the first?
Bagel Works?
Bagel Works. If you haven't been to Bagel Works,
You're not talking about just like gluten-free bagels. You're talking about all bagels.
I'm talking about all bagels, but Bagel Works has the best gluten-free bagel in the city. Just in case you.
It's gas.
Oh, interesting.
I've been gluten-free for about 18 years. It is the best gluten-free bagel that I have ever had. It is spectacular. But I'm mostly curious, like, okay, well, accept the bagel itself is gluten-free.
No. So when I'm going, so then it just becomes, I am a big lox proponent. The issue is that you got to take a mortgage on your house to afford lox in the city. Yeah. Which is a shanda, if you ask me. But I do. It's completely anti-Semitic. The cost of lox is anti-Semitic. I actually do think that that's a thing.
They know we want it.
But it is like, like I do get the standard. Like I do like a lox. It has to be a flavored cream cheese, obviously. And if lox isn't a thing, then I do tend towards a tuna. I like a tuna bagel. Big fan of tuna.
What flavor of cream cheese are we talking about?
If we are doing a standard lox, then it can't be. It can be any veggie or scallion flavored cream cheese. Yeah. I one time saw someone, and this is like jarring. This is more jarring than zone of interest. I saw someone put a blueberry cream cheese on a lox bagel.
What?
Now,
wow, that's anti-Semitic.
Yeah, and I will say, you know what the thing is? Zone of Interest, its entire thing was about how just there was the mundanity of the world set with atrocities in the background. A bagel harnessing this disgusting thing. It was horrifying. Anyways, maybe I went too far with that joke, but we can go on.
I think that blueberry cream cheese has its time and place, just certainly not on a lox bagel.
No, not on a lox.
Yeah, it found its places in between two yellow cakes that you stacked on top of each other and then put frosting over as part of a birthday party celebration for a 5-year-old.
Have you had jelly and cream cheese on a bagel, though?
But that's different, though.
They call that a breakfast cheesecake.
What?
But it's different though, because I feel like if you have the jelly, because jelly is like a spreadable thing, like a breakfast thing. No one calls it that.
No one calls it.
I don't think anyone's ever said that ever.
This microphone isn't attached to anything. But yeah, I think that is different. I think that because you're making it, I think there's also adding sugar into the cream cheese if it's like a blueberry cream cheese versus
Some sugar.
Personally, my go-to bagel order recently has been an toasted everything bagel, gluten-free, of course, with jalapeno cream cheese.
Yes, so gas.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Jalapeno cream cheese.
No, it's pretty good. I do like a jalapeno cream cheese. If we're doing here's the thing, if we're just doing cream cheese, then like I do appreciate the spicier. I like the sun-dried tomato ones that kind of come up. I do appreciate the vegetables and the scallions. But yeah, you know what the thing is also? I think the only way you're able to have a blueberry like cream cheese bagel is if you're eating it open face. If it's a sandwich, it feels a little bit wrong. But if you're treating it like a breakfast dessert, then at least you're kind of
hot take. I'm fully out on open face bagels. What's the point? You're gonna hold it like this and eat it like that, and then you got you got all this cream cheese on your face because you can't keep it
I think that
contained.
speaks more to your dexterity to eat like an adult.
You know I like that. Don't bring that into this.
Can I also say I've been eating my bagels open faced for years. I haven't been talking about it. Like
That's
it just
crazy.
I've been eating them normal. Like you get more stuff on the bagel.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
You
Yeah.
get the same amount of stuff. In fact, you
No,
probably get more because you get
no.
a case at all.
Not at a luncheon.
you
At
don't.
luncheon, you open that thing up, you get 2 bagels, and you add your
Thank
own.
you.
I got a big mouth. I can fit it
Yeah.
in.
No,
It's not
I,
like
If you're talking capers, they fit better with an open face.
Yes.
capers fit better with an open face. I
I'm just
agree.
out on capers also. Frankly.
That's wrong.
It's a green
Grow
vegetable.
up.
I'm not shocked.
Yeah.
I only eat vegetables that they would serve you on an airplane in like a little cup.
That's
grapes.
not a thing.
It's just like one piece of celery, like a baby carrot, maybe a cucumber.
You know what's a weird thing that I've noticed in like specifically between kosher fruit salads and non-kosher fruit salads that you get at restaurants and stuff like that? The kosher ones are way more melon. And I think it's to fill space and weight. And I think that is, when we're trying to dispel anti-Semitic stereotypes about,
Yeah, they're reeling it right back in.
they really, really, really don't need to be playing that game with fruit salad.
Yeah.
That's the original shrinkflation.
What's making a fruit cup kosher or not kosher? Isn't it just fruit?
No, just from it. No, it is just what I mean by that. It means that who is serving it. Like if I'm at, the spreads that you see at like Briss's and at like Vacation Village, whatever. This is the whole thing. This isn't attached to anything. So I for a while definitely did try to like remove myself from the community and that element to me, especially like in comedy. It's a thing that I did try to remove myself from, try not to like focus on too much. Issue is I was raised way too Jewy and you can't escape it. Like it is all that I know.
No.
So as much as I've tried to remove myself from it, it's impossible to, because the way I parse information from, even if I'm not saying anything Jewish, it comes out very Jewy. It just is what it is. And I mean that in like, aside from the inflection, the like way that I parse information. And I think there is just like Jerry Seinfeld was not Jewish, like as like a show. It wasn't like he wasn't going to Hanukkah.
Right.
There wasn't a Passover episode, but it was considered Jewish because of the way that he parsed information. I think that like as much as I don't Seinfeld it, I do think that the kind of the Jewy tendency, to process stuff is kind of different now. So I think that that's kind of just like, I can't escape it. So if I can't escape it, then I might as well be talking about things that I know a lot more, which is Judaism.
Is that fully about Judaism, or is that more your New York background? Or are they just so intertwined?
It's the same.
Same thing.
I consider, can I be honest, I'm from New York. My grandmother, lived in Queens. My dad works in Brooklyn, so I've always been very exposed to like this community, to the community of New York. And I consider Italians Jews if they're from Brooklyn. If you're, you could be a Pakistani bodega owner in Brooklyn and you're Jewish. Like it just, and that is just like what it is. And by say Jewish, it's New York. Like it just, we live here and it's the immigrant, culture community. My grandmother came over from the Holocaust, and she parses information the way that a lot of other groups parse information. So, Jewy, New York is the same exact thing.
All right. So Eitan, do you have access to your phone at the moment?
Yes.
All right. I just sent
This isn't plugged in. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sent you a
It's
DM.
gonna get funnier every time you say it. That's the best part of this joke.
It's a graphic. It's got a picture. And what I want you to do is, can you cast your TV family? If there were to be a sitcom about Eitan Levine, can you cast your TV family? Okay,
so my mom, so this is my mom, aside from talking exactly like her, like genealogically very similar to Judy Gold. That is like a thing. They're both Czechoslovakian and everything like that. So I would pick like either Judy Gold or Jessica Kirson as my mom, who I consider a celebrity. And we're at a point where all the institutions are done. So like Comedy Central, HBO, they're all not there anymore. They're all owned by Paramount Plus or whatever. So realistically, the concept of celebrity is more democratized, and Jessica Kirsten is massive, so I consider her a celebrity.
Yeah.
Okay. My dad would be. Who would my dad be? Not Richard Kind. I'm trying. There's a specific dad that I'm thinking. Who is the dad in? My roommate is washing dishes over here. Who is the dad in that movie? Thank you for a good, not for a good time call. The one with Lake Bell where she's a voiceover artist. Anyone know what I'm talking about?
No.
This is good. Okay, wait. 1 second. Hey Siri, who was the dad in
In a world?
In a world when? Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. Oh man, no, Siri's not working. Anyways, whoever that dad was in a world. The 2013 film. The dad is freaking. We'll go to the cast. Fred Melamed. That's the guy.
Okay.
You know who he is.
That went right over my head now.
What's his name?
Everyone look up Fred Melamed.
Is
Fred
he Jewish?
Melamed.
Yeah, are you out of your mind?
Oh,
He was the dad,
yeah.
He was the dad in Shiva Baby.
Yeah, I know who he is.
Yeah.
Shiva baby.
I respect
Yeah.
So
this
not
choice.
Jewish.
I respect
God.
this choice. I do know this actor.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Who's that guy? Okay, here we go. Next, we got best friend. Rich Templeton's right here washing the dishes. I'll cast him. Who's got long hair? I want to know. Who's got long blonde hair? My roommate has long blonde hair. And
Noah Sullivan.
Noah, who's a Irish? Jesse Plemons. You know what? Rich looks like Jesse Plemons.
Okay.
That's who I'll give it to. It's actually, I'll show you listen, look up Richard Templeton. And then, my sister. Oh my God. Let's see. Tamar. Who's playing Tamar? Tamar's a little. I'll put Beanie Feldstein. I feel like it's a good. You know what's funny about Beanie Feldstein? I went to see her in Funny Girl, and I saw her about 2 weeks after that review came out, and I got a free ticket to a matinee. And the thing about the matinee showings of Funny Girl were like 10,000 women from the Upper West Side. In it. So like everyone, the funniest effing thing was that like the article came out, they were like, she's not good enough to be doing this, whatever. And the entire time you're hearing people talking loud enough so that she can hear, just like, she's not that bad. Oh, she's not that bad. She's fine. I don't know why everyone was being so mean to her. She's actually not the worst actress of all time. She's actually pretty enjoyable. I don't know why they said she was an atrocity to like going on. I don't know why anyone would say that she is the reason Broadway is failing. She's doing just fine up there, like going.
Oh my God, stop.
And then after the intermission happens, they tell everyone to shut off their phone at the beginning of the play. They forget to tell everyone to shut off their phone in the second, when everyone comes back for the second half. I am not joking that every 45 seconds, someone else's phone went off. Because there's a bunch of grandmothers who forgot to turn off their thing.
To have your phone not on vibrate, just in general.
Exactly. And that was the matinee showing of Funny Girl could have easily been a fundraiser for Beth Israel, in Syosset. It was the same exact thing.
Eitan, did you go to sleepaway camp?
I went to 2 years of Camp Mosheva, but then, I had cancer when I was a kid, so then I went to Camp Simcha, which was a Jewish cancer camp, which was a lot of fun. I used to call Camp Simcha Camp Sympathy, and no one thought it was. None of the people there were like, "That's a good joke, Eitan. You should sell that more." Like,
Do you have a camp story that you'd love to be able to share that would
here's the only one that has really been kind of like I've been thinking about lately. Do you guys know who Natan Sharansky is at all? He was a communist. Like the communists took him basically. Russia put him in prison. He was a Jew.
Then what? They brought him to your sleepaway camp?
Well, kinda. Because he was a big, was in prison, Jewish guy, was in prison. One of my other sisters, Avital, is named after his wife. So it was one of those, it was a big, protest thing was, around when my mom was, in college and high school. There were a lot of protests trying to get Natan Sharansky, who was held in communist prison, out of it because they said he was a spy. He wasn't a spy. He was in solitary confinement for years and years. It effed up his back. It screwed up his eyes. He came out of there, whatever. But then he ended up becoming very big in Israeli politics. So he just I don't know if he ever held a Knesset seat, but he definitely was always heavily involved and was a very beloved character in Israeli society.
Wow.
They bring him to Mosheva. And on a Friday, so it was just a Friday night Shabbos meal. He was about 2 tables down from me, and I flicked a piece of chicken at my friend, missed and hit Natan Sharansky.
No!
Yeah.
No, you did not do that.
Yeah.
Damn, he had to go through the gulag, and he comes back, and then he's getting flicked chicken at by
He PTSDs. Yeah. It'd be funny if he kind of caught it like Shamu. That would have been kind of funny. Wow. Natan, I bet you didn't know where that story was going.
No, I did not. No. You said you had cancer. Were you involved with Make-A-Wish at all?
Oh yeah, I had a Make-A-Wish. It was actually I don't know. Was that an on-purpose prompt for the 50 pitches thing?
It wasn't, but it was a perfect segue.
Let's
until
go.
you ruined it.
Yeah, I had cancer as a kid. I'm fine now. I got a Make-A-Wish. Make-A-Wish is awesome. My Make-A-Wish was to do. I've been performing stand-up already. I got it when I was 15. My Make-A-Wish originally, I wanted a BattleBot. That's what I asked them for, actually.
A what?
Remember BattleBots? Is that still around? I watch it all the time still.
A BattleBot? Like the fighting robots?
Yeah, I was
that was awesome.
I was I want to take place in this competition. And they were like,
I want to get in the ring with a BattleBot.
What I wanted was to join a team of engineers and fight the robots. And they were like, this is an impossible ask. So years later, I got to do my Make-A-Wish, and it was to perform stand-up. And I got to perform stand-up at Caroline's on Broadway. I opened for Daryl Hammond, which was a lot of fun.
Oh, wow, Daryl Hammond.
That's sick.
Yeah, it was awesome. And that was years ago. The segue into this current thing is that this summer I'm going to be breaking the record for the Guinness record. Guinness has already approved this record for most ceremonial first pitches thrown out over the course of the year. I'm doing this to raise money for Make-A-Wish, which is fun. Got to them. As of today, we have 38 teams signed on.
Oh, wow, that's amazing.
10 are major league teams. Yesterday, we actually locked in the Colorado Rockies, which was a lot of fun.
Oh.
June 12th, New York Mets, baby.
Ooh, I'm a Yankees fan, but
So what's the goal? How many are you trying to get to?
50. I'm trying to get to 50. And there's going to be a documentary crew that's following me around. Hopefully, I'm going to be collaborating with Major League Baseball and some stuff as the season is going on. So super excited to be
Have you reached out
doing all
to
that.
Savannah Bananas?
Savannah Bananas is a funny story. I had spoke with them, and they were like, we love this, but there's a small problem where we do not throw out a first pitch. We throw out a first banana. So
oh my gosh, no
So I
way.
had to find out if a banana was okay. So bananas are cool. I emailed them back, and I was like, in the voice of the umpire from Air Bud, there's no rule that says it can't be a banana. So so I could throw out a banana would count. I will say that they became a little bit more busy because they sold out the Astros Stadium a couple of days ago. So
Wow.
they're taking off. They're everything. They're amazing. I have nothing but positive thoughts and vibes about them. They're what the sport needs. There needs to be more
100%.
stuff like that amps up the energy factor. I'm excited because I may be going over to Korea to throw some balls out. Possibly, maybe. This is so anything. But Korea, they treat baseball in a way that I think Americans should kind of treat baseball a lot more.
That's incredible.
So out of curiosity, how you obviously have a very popular series that we're going to play in a moment called Jewish or Antisemitic.
Yeah.
And I'm curious how did that come
Love
about?
is Blind. No.
How did that series come about? Like, what made you think of that?
Here's the thing. What's interesting about it is that it has taken a new kind of pivot, because originally the series was just like making fun of how Jews out there, occasionally we have been known to gatekeep trauma and to gatekeep,
We got a lot of it. What can you say?
Yeah.
Totally. And I totally get it. The issues are that occasionally when things like, I remember when the Syrian refugee crisis happened, they were comparing this girl who had washed up on shore to Anne Frank. And there were some communities out there who were like, oh, that's bad, but it's no Anne Frank. And I'm like, that's not the point. Like, you know what, that's not the argument. I think that occasionally we do tend to gatekeep that. And I will say there's an end to this that just bear with me. So the concept for Jewish or anti-Semitic was making fun of that, and this is not plugged into anything, was making fun of that, where it was like, inherently there are things that are, tend to be Jewish, just was what it is. Everything bagels just tend to be, they're Jewish. They feel Jewish. So if you're not Jewish, you're anti-Semitic. And that was where the concept that kind of like come from. That being said, over the past couple of months, it has become abundantly clear that anti-Semitism is, a very real and still it is not an overly sold or overly, reported thing. It's a big problem. It's becoming more and more of a problem. It's been very unchecked in a lot of spaces over the past couple of years. That has kind of culminated in some of these spaces being very okay with anti-Semitic rhetoric popping up at protests and stuff like that, when it shouldn't be about that. It's led to Jewish businesses being targeted for so much of this stuff, even though this stuff isn't. It's hard to be like, we're not targeting only Jews, and then be like, okay, well then why are all your protests happening at synagogues and at Jerry Seinfeld and at kosher restaurants? And the thing is, I don't even think that that's crazy, because like kosher restaurants are. Halal restaurants aren't getting protested. Like, this isn't. It's the fair 1-to-1. Like, it is like a very fair 1-to-1 where you can be like, the restaurants, no matter what their owners support, that's where we get kosher food. You need kosher food to exist. So it is a very fair 1-to-1 to be like, the Jews are not touching. We're not protesting mosques, rightfully, because this isn't a mosque problem. We're not protesting halal places because rightfully this isn't a halal problem. The same thing should be granted towards Jews, where we're not getting restaurants aren't being protested because it isn't kosher restaurants that are the problem. Synagogues aren't getting protested because they're not part of the problem.
So on that lighthearted note, can we play some Jewish or anti-Semitic?
The ratio of jelly to dough, it's completely off.
All right, so hit us with some Jewish or anti-Semitic. We'll play a little bit.
Ooh, you know what was actually funny? We had some new ones because so I will say this, by the way, we play Jewish or anti-Semitic every month at That's So Jewish, a live Jewish game show at Asylum NYC. Celebrities, guests. Last month we had Rose Kelso, who is absolutely hilarious comedian. One of the funniest. To this day, I think one of my favorite internet things is she wrote a song about pegging a German guy who is the son of so there's that. Harrison Greenbaum, who's just an outrageously funny Jewish comedian, and Lucas Arnold is another wildly funny Jewish comedian with more followers than Christ on TikTok. And then this month we have Matt Broussard, Monday Punday, massive comic, amazing, hilarious person, one of my favorite writers in the comedy world, and Talia Lichstein is coming to that one. She's the other one. And then our third guest is maybe you, because of the audience. The audience, and one of the guests will be the representative. 3 Jews compete to be crowned most chosen person. So we play That's So Jewish every month there. That being said, here are some Jewish or anti-Semitics that we'll put out there. The first Jewish or anti-Semitic, and I've been told that I'm wrong on this, but unfortunately, that's not how this works. If I say it's something, then there's no argument here.
Boom.
It is your game.
Large cup of soup, Jewish or anti-Semitic?
Large cup of soup.
I'm gonna go ahead and say, like, if it's really that large, it's anti-Semitic.
Well, who's eating all the soup? Like, if your bubby's making soup for everybody, she's making a couple large cups of soup.
No, this is at a restaurant. This is the ordering a large cup of soup.
Well, I just don't think I think it's anti-Semitic to be sharing
All right,
soup. If it's
what
that
anti-Semitic?
large,
Who else? What else we got?
Ordering here's my issue. Ordering the soup, anti-Semitic. Eating a bowl of large soup.
What do you mean ordering the soup is
Why?
anti-Semitic?
I thought it's
ordering
super
the soup
Jewish
is
to order
Jewish.
some
at the
soup.
restaurant, like that's an order. Just why are you ordering a full bowl of soup out? You can make that at home. That like I'd be getting.
Wait,
scolded.
no, I
I
disagree.
want
This
soup.
is
I
hot.
want
This is
soup.
hot
Producer
take.
Johnny, I
Yeah.
have to disagree with
You're
you on
being a real
that. I
soup
think
Nazi right now.
it
No
is the
soup for
most
you.
Jewish thing.
I'm eating soup because I want to eat soup, damn it.
Yeah.
No, but
Give me a cup of split pea.
I feel like a large bowl of soup is just too much soup because it's not going to be filling enough to fill you up, and so you're going to need something else. But then you have too much soup, and then you're not sharing your soup.
It is anti-Semitic.
Sharing, not a sharing dish.
No,
I
you're
would-
right. It's anti-Semitic. It's
I would
too
say
much soup.
anti-Semitic.
Is
Too
that
much
what?
soup.
You're going to walk around with leftover soup?
Yeah, you're going to give it to a homeless guy? No.
You walk on the way home. The way to eat leftovers is on the way home. Walking. That's the way that it works. You get it to go so that you can have second dinner as you're walking home. What am I supposed to do?
Slurp it.
Eat a pint of soup on the way?
I think it's Jewish AF, and you can come for me all you want, but
Nah.
it's such a Jewish thing to be giving my bubby makes me a fat portion, and that's hella Jewish because my bubby wants to keep me fed. So if
fat
I'm gonna get
stack.
a big bowl of soup, I think that's Jewish as hell.
A medium cup of soup is Jewish. A large cup of soup is anti-Semitic. That's what it is.
Okay.
And I
I'll
can
meet
say
you
that,
there.
and it won't affect the way that you hear this because it's not on.
I was gonna say, that
Is that mic on, by the way? Is it on?
What?
Is that plugged in?
This is actually not plugged into anything.
Ah.
Here's number 2. Okay, wait. I had number 2. One second. Sorry. I'm just gonna go into the mega doc here.
the mega doc of Jewish or anti-Semitic.
I would love to get my eyes on that thing.
It's also called the Talmud.
Oh, okay. I lost it. All right. Well, we're gonna freeball this a
Anti-Semitic.
little bit then.
Yeah,
All right. Next up, then. Okay, these weren't from the show. These are from a different one. AI, Jewish or anti-Semitic?
Ooh.
Whoa.
I'm gonna say
Talk about it.
anti-Semitic. Jews do our own work.
It's Jewish.
It's
Let me
Jewish
tell you
because
right
Jews
now,
run the
it just-
world.
all it does is answer the question for you. As someone that has performed in so many synagogues, this is just performing for shows for regular people and then shows at synagogues. You do a show for regular people audience. They wait to hear you say your joke, and then they laugh or they don't laugh. At synagogues, you say your joke, and then they yell out their punchlines as you're saying them. This is like a thing where you say your joke, and then you hope that you can get to the punchline before 4 guys in their 80s are just like, no, it's funnier if you do the thing,
Wait, here's what I'd say. I actually disagree. I think it's anti-Semitic because if you ask ChatGPT a question, it gives you an answer. If you ask a Jewish person a question, it'll give you another question.
If ChatGPT is not Jewish, then there is another element to this where I have a podcast now called Champagne Shiva, and I still haven't done this video, but I basically, when I was coming up with the name for it, I already had the name, but I was wondering what ChatGPT would do. So I typed in give me 10 names for Jewish podcasts. And it immediately had 10 names for it. And then I was like, more Jewy. And then it gave Jewier names to the podcast. And I was like, more Jewy than that. And it kept on giving me Jewier names. Now, if ChatGPT is not Jewish, then how dare ChatGPT
The audacity!
answer. Anytime I asked it to do more Jewier stuff, I was like, wow, ChatGPT, huh? You just had Mixed for Miracles, a podcast ready to go?
Is ChatGPT's mother Jewish? Because then I think we can definitively say it's Jewish or not.
Ooh, well, isn't Sam Altman Jewish? So it is Jewish. His dad is Jewish.
That's literally only a Jew.
It's Jew.
Jew enough for me.
And based on women's representation in tech, I don't think there is a mom there. I don't think there's a mom there until the sales department.
It's so progressive that there are just no women.
Happy Women's History Month, y'all.
That's what all these places are trying to do. Low key, in a grand scheme of things, they're trying to like make humans, irrelevant. But on the way there, it's women first. Like it is like taking out all of like the smaller like jobs that were given to them, like the sales stuff. Like what's another? But I'm not even joking. This is an actual thing I was thinking about right before this, because I don't know if you saw, but ChatGPT announced or OpenAI announced that they're doing the OpenAI for software designers and software engineers.
Oh.
But that's weird to me because why would they not do the software engineers first? It seems like an easier programmable thing, but they first went to sales jobs. They went to all of the writing stuff.
The software engineers were making it, and they wanted their job.
But then why do it at all? Like they had to know. I thought there was like a fourth rail that they weren't going to cross, or third rail they weren't going to cross, where they weren't going to make AI for software engineers. But
it's just the logical next step. I think that it's like, I still think you'll need engineers and people that know what they're doing to like debug and like figure out why things aren't working.
Yeah, I'm sure they say that.
No, but have you ever gotten like something from ChatGPT and like 30% of it's just incorrect information? Like you need to like fact check it sometimes.
In 2 years from now, do you think that 30% is still going to be 30%
Potentially, it depends what it's programmed.
No, it's going to be 80%.
Yeah.
5 years from now, it will be unchanged. I don't know what the term would be. Unperceptible. You won't be able to see the difference between humans and it.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: is that every time AI has been brought up, it's always been like, well, it can't do this, and then it does that. Like it used to be like, well, it can't write jokes. Well, it doesn't get irony. Well, it kind of does now.
Yeah.
Well, it can't know all of human existence. Well, it kind of does. All it has to do is get tone down. And once it gets
do this,
I
don't think so.
No, you're right.
Ask ChatGPT to dress up in a Charizard costume and do this,
Yeah.
and then come back to me, okay?
Yeah, you
Offy, you are one of a kind. Don't you worry.
It probably can't talk into this microphone because it's not plugged in.
No, but
The only thing. Anyways, that's my AI talk.
Eitan, thank you for letting us play Jewish or Antisemitic.
Anytime.
We've got one or two games that we want to sneak in here that we love to play. One of which is called Am I the Schmuck? Am I the Schmuck? Very similar to the frequented podcast segments of, I can't even say it, Am I the A-hole? However, we've got our own little schmucklets that our community's given to us that producer Johnny's going to read for us, and we can decide whether or not they are the schmuck. How's that sound?
Oh, me? Yeah, good. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Sure
No,
can
yeah.
do.
It sounded like your mic
it.
wasn't on there for a second. It was
No,
weird.
I didn't know. I thought you were talking to Offy there for a second.
Yeah, no, I'm all right with it also.
All right, Johnny, give us our first schmucklet.
I the schmuck for letting my buddy get cock blocked.
Okay.
Ooh, I'm intrigued.
Okay.
Let's give a little bit of background. He watched his buddy get cock blocked at the yearly social with a sister camp. He goes to an all-boys summer camp.
Where's the fun in that?
Okay.
I went to all boys cancer camp. I think everyone was too tired to be doing anything anyway. So
All right, so what happened at this all-boys summer camp?
I don't know why I picked this up and put it down. It's not on.
My best friend Jake had been bragging about kissing a girl all summer, and my entire
Let's go, Jake!
Shout out Jake.
Congratulations, Jake.
Jake ended up going after someone that someone else in the bunk had called dibs on. And when this guy saw Jake kissing that girl and leave the dance hall, he ran to the closest counselor to rat him out.
Boo.
This is what took FTX down.
Yeah, exactly. Sam Bankman-Fried is shaking in his boots watching this right now.
He keeps saying, I couldn't help but think I could have easily stepped in and talked this dude off the ledge a little bit, but I'm not going to lie. Jake was being super obnoxious about kissing this girl all summer. Am I the schmuck for not stepping in and letting the bro do his thing?
Nah, Jake was asking for it. I actually think that they should be emotionally damaging Jake more. Jake needs to learn from this lesson and to stop being like the worst effing kid. Listen, I'm slightly older than you guys, and you kind of see the kids who are annoying in high school and middle school and college. You start to see where they end up and you see how they're kind of perceived in the world. And you got to cut that behavior ahead of time. You need to be humbled as young as possible.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I am pro yelling at kids.
That
Anyways.
is one of the best parts of camps is that
You heard it here first.
people learn the tough lessons that they need to
Yeah.
learn at camp
Totally.
in regards to dealing with other
Totally.
people.
My best
Totally.
friends to this day are the kids from my cabin that bullied the hell out of me as a kid. I'm pro bullying.
Yeah.
W in the
But
chat.
that
W in the
works.
chat.
W's in the chat.
I'm way funnier now. I'm way more fun to be around. I developed a sense of humor because I was annoying and whiny.
I will also say, listen, I was bullied more. I was bullied so much at every element of my entire educational career. And all it does is just make you like thick-skinned and ready to overcome a pandemic, baby.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, that's what
Yes.
all that
It
it
all
does.
comes back to COVID-19.
Absolutely.
That's satisfying.
All right, so listen, so we only have a little bit of time here, so I think I want to make sure we have time for my favorite game that our guy Offy likes to host, which is Hebrew or He Made It Up.
Hey.
Noah and I don't speak a lick of Hebrew. It sounds like
Hey, speak for yourself.
Eitan might speak like 1 or 2 licks of Hebrew, it sounds like.
Kitzat. I lived in Israel for a year, so I picked up
Oh.
the American yeshiva version of Israel.
Okay, so you're hip to the. You're
All
hip
right,
to
so
the
you might be a
Hebrew.
little better at this game
No,
than we are.
no. You go to yeshiva next to Beit Shemesh. You're essentially living in Chicago. Did I live in Israel? Yes. Like, did I leave knowing how to do anything in Hebrew? No.
No, okay.
Okay, all right,
So you're
right on.
like the same level as us.
All right,
perfect.
Offy, take it away, man.
Hebrew or he made it up. Are these definitions real or fake? All right, here's your first one. Ligma means for what? When your child asks, can I have $20? You say Ligma. And they say, for Pokemon cards. And you say,
Okay.
yes,
Sorry.
because you're the cool
Did
Did
dad.
you just say ligma?
As in
No,
Are you
Ligma.
saying
Ligma?
Ligma.
Like, good
Yeah.
one, Offy.
There it is.
Ligma.
There it is.
Oh, wow.
There it is. Ligma
Wow.
balls.
Oh, you guys actually sniped that so quickly. I thought you were going to struggle with that.
Wow.
No.
Yep.
Was that why were you trying to set that up before the show? Or is this a real game you play?
No, this is a real
Hebrew
game.
made
This is a
up
real
so
game that we play.
We do
Oh,
play this
okay.
game.
Every episode. I come
For a
with
second, I
couple.
thought that you were trying to get me to fall
No.
for something.
No.
I mean, I
No.
was trying to get you to fall
No,
for
no.
it.
This
but,
is
you
Offy trying to
guys-
get us, but that time we knew it was fake.
Well, as they say in Hebrew, ligma. Offy.
So it was fake. The answer was Ligma Toches. Okay.
Yeah.
Ligma toches. Ah,
Yeah.
love it, love it.
Okay. This is your next one. Ashkara means for real or dead ass. So where's
Ashkara?
Spencer? He ate some gluten and he's been sitting on the toilet for 10 minutes.
Ashkara.
Ashkara? Ashkara.
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 Interesting. I mean,
Yeah.
I could see this being a definition that, I mean, certainly the example sounded true.
Yeah.
So
You relate to the example. You've been there.
This sounds accurate also. I don't know if I've heard this, but it definitely sounds like in the vein of it. It's a pretty good fake Jewish Hebrew word if it's fake.
if it is fake,
Yeah.
I think, are we all going? Is it? I think
I think
we're
it's
gonna
real.
say
It's a real
real.
slang word.
It is real.
Yay!
Let's go.
We did it.
Nice. Good job. Good job. All right, here's the next one. You ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's called chumtsatsi. It's a type of dish served in the shuk made out of chickpeas, tzatziki, tomato, eggplant, all wrapped in a grape leaf.
Ooh.
I want to hear Spencer say the word.
I want to
Chumtsatsi.
hear. Wait, Offy. Chum what now? Huh?
Chumtsatsi.
Chumsatsi.
Like hummus tzatziki.
Chumsatsi.
Oh, it's like a little
no,
combo,
no,
like how they
no, not real.
I don't know.
Chumtsatsi.
It
No, but
sounds-
okay,
it's-
Israelis do love their mayo chup, which is literally what they call it, and it's mayo and ketchup. So they do that whole word combo thing.
What's in it again?
It's hummus, tzatziki, tomato, eggplant, and it's all wrapped in a grape leaf.
Wait. Yeah.
Sounds
no.
gas. If it's not real, screw you because I'm hungry for it now.
Yeah, I'm hungry again now.
Chumtsatsi.
Chumsatsi? I think it's real. I think this adds up. I mean,
For the plot, I'll say real.
No, it's not real. I don't think it's real. It also sounds disgusting. Say again what the ingredients are. Like, think about it.
It's hummus,
Hummus. Yeah.
tomato, eggplant,
Yeah.
all wrapped in a grape leaf.
yeah,
The
it's like a
grape leaf
baba
is the
ganoush.
thing that's throwing me off because the grape leaf can't contain that.
No,
Really?
sure, Ken.
Yes,
No.
if it's pureed and like kind of
Not with that attitude, it can't.
No, but you can't. A grape leaf can't do this. This isn't like a grape leaf where like it's in the water with the rice in it. Hummus and tzatziki and
like
the tomato
pureed with
in
the-
a leaf.
with the eggplant.
Puree with the egg. It's like a baba ganoush.
Baba Ganoush,
No,
Baba Ganoush.
I do not think a leaf can hold. I'm going with no. It's not real.
Okay,
All
I'll
right.
say Ken.
I'm saying it's real.
Eitan's right. I completely
Yeah.
made that up. It's not a thing at all.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And the grape leaf was the selling point on it because you can't.
Damn.
It's not like a good enough leaf.
Without the grape leaf, I feel like you would find something that's made out of eggplant, tomato, hummus, and tzatziki.
Sounds yes, I want
Yeah.
it.
That sounds kind of good.
You could have if you said it was something different. I would have believed it.
Yeah.
For next
It just
time.
sounds. It sounds.
If it was in a
bad.
lettuce-
Sounds
if it was
sounds like
lettuce,
I'd
I would
find it in the
understand.
shuk.
All right, here's the last one. Ready?
Yeah.
Lo bali means I'm not in the mood. When Spencer asks me to make more Hebrew or he made it up, I say lo bali.
Low
Low
is
volley.
no. We all know that low is no,
Yeah,
so
but
that's
he knows that we know low is no. He knows that.
I'm going with no. I don't think that. No, I'm going with no on this
What-
one. Also, it
What
doesn't
is the
sound
definition?
right.
What is the definition?
not. I don't want to do that.
Lo bali means I'm not in the mood.
Like
Low Bali.
Bali?
I don't wanna.
I feel like based
three
off
words,
of
low
Offy's
volley.
reaction when Spencer asked him to make
Oh
more Hebrew,
wait, sorry. 3 words. Lo Bali.
I think it's true because he was actually annoyed to make more words. So I bet the first thing he Google translated
Yeah.
was,
It's
"I don't
true.
want to do this
It's true.
anymore."
If there's anything
Yeah.
Offy doesn't like the most,
Is doing
it
work.
would be doing work that I ask him to do. So
Okay, let me just say, I think I'm going to change it to yes, and only because it's 3 words. If it was 1 word, it didn't make sense to me. But 3 words, lo Bali, makes sense. Like
Low
no,
Bali.
I think
Bali,
you're,
yeah.
you're thinking at a deeper level than I am used to at this game. So I'm gonna ride your coattails. I'm gonna say
I'm
it's
saying it's
real
real,
as well.
too.
I'm gonna say it's real.
I could be totally wrong. Also, what are you thinking?
It is real.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's go.
Yeah.
It means I'm not in the mood.
Yeah, let's go.
That's about right.
Let's
Was it,
go.
what is it like directly like not by me? Is that what it means? Not here.
I mean, lo is no. Ba means come, and leave
Yeah.
to me. Don't come to me.
Yeah.
I think is like
What?
but it's
Don't
like,
come to
it's
me
like
for that.
slang for like not in the mood.
Hey.
Oh, I don't feel like
Flexy.
it.
Good
Lo bali.
round, Offy. Good job. Low Bali, my guy.
All
Ligma.
right. Well, listen, I think that is just about all the time we have for today during this awesome Purim stream.
Thank you guys for saying and listening.
Eitan, thank you so much for hanging out with us, dude, and chilling with us
Anytime.
for this little time.
If anyone's in New York, by the way, I don't know if we're
Yeah,
we
plug,
doing
plug.
anything. Yeah, can we plug?
Yeah, plug
Yeah,
everything.
March 31st at Asylum. That's So Jewish, a live Jewish game show. It's super, super fun. Music, sketches. It's going touring. There's also, I will say this, we're doing a bunch of Hillel houses with it. So we're
Ooh,
going.
sick.
I'm not going to say which ones yet, but I will say we're going to be in Philadelphia doing it for the Hillel houses down there on March
Ooh.
20th. So definitely come out if you're like Hillel Villanova. All the non-UPenn Hillels, I think, is in this. So come out there. And if you're a Hillel person out there, Hillel Chabad, anywhere, bring me out. You know, it's a very fun Jewish game show. And I can give you a discount code. If you're listening to this and you're part of the Lost Tribe, all caps chosen will get you, I think 33% off the ticket. So chosen.
Sick.
Awesome.
Our
And you
audience
can
is
get that on
Jewish. They do
Asylum.
love a deal.
Eitan,
Hey.
Yeah.
you are doing so many incredible and awesome things in the
Seriously.
Jewish community. If there's
Yes.
anything I've taken away from this hour of hanging with you, it's that you are throwing a lot of bananas.
Well, yeah, let's hope. And the last thing I'd want to say is this mic is not plugged in.
Ah.
There's one thing I
Thank
learned
you,
about you.
Eitan.
That's
Stuff.
Mike is not connected.
All right. Well, listen, chat, don't go anywhere because right after this podcast ends, we've got our Purim costume contest happening live with me, Noah, and Offy. Right after this, we're going to choose a winner and 4 random contestants. Winner takes home $100.
Wow.
Contestants take home 4 random contestants taking home $50.
Whoa.
And we are going to rank and figure out who has the best Purim costume submission so far this
Hey.
year. So let's see that in the chat. And Offy, roll us out.